Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Monday, August 13th, 2018, and it is 3:36 p.m. I'm recording this episode, and I just got home from work. I'm going to take a sip of this fine Tecate. This is the first sip of the first one of the day, and you know what they say about the first sip of the first one? Oh yeah. So a couple of days ago, I did. Let's see. When I did episode Dog Days. By the way, this is day 13 of the Dog Days of podcasting. I'm attempting to do a show a day for the entire month of August. You know that. Well, on day 10 of the Dog Days, I played an Alice Cooper show review. I don't remember who left me that show review, but thank you to whoever did. And anyway, when I was talking about it, somebody said whoever called in with the show review said that Nita Strauss was not there. She was in somewhere else. She was out. She didn't do the gig, and I said that I would be afraid to leave because I'd be afraid that I'd be replaced because Orianthi and Richie Sambora broke up. Well, guess what happened? I was at work today, and I got a text from my good friend Shiaki Hinohara of the Metal Moment podcast saying that Orianthi joined Alice Cooper on stage. He read it on Blabbermouth. And I come home and check my email, and I get an email from Ralph Pacheco. He says, "You called it. Guess who came on stage in L.A.?" So, if you don't remember, so here's what happened. So Orianthi used to play guitar for Alice Cooper. She's a female shredding guitar player. Used to play with Michael Jackson, and she went on to do a solo career. Then she met up with Richie Sambora, who left. That's great soap opera shit, man. But she left Alice Cooper, do a solo thing. Met up with Richie Sambora, who she started having musical collaborations with. Richie Sambora dumped her, or she dumped Richie Sambora. I'm going to guess. I don't know. She's a cute girl, so maybe she dumped him. And I said that Nita Strauss she should watch out because there's a chance, because with Orianthi and Richie Sambora broken up, she's going to need a gig. And guess what happened? Yesterday in L.A., she came up on stage and played Schools Out with Alice Cooper, but Nita Strauss was on stage as well. Now, I could be reading a little bit into it, but I called it, man. She's back on stage with Alice Cooper. Take that, Eddie Trunk! All right. Doesn't mean she's going to be back in the band, but Nita Strauss, better watch out. Do not miss any more gigs. That's all I'll say. So speaking of Alice Cooper, I'm going to see Alice Cooper in San Jose tomorrow. Ralph Miller is taking me to the show. So friend of the show, Ralph Miller, is taking me to the show, and I'm looking forward to it. I will let you know who's going to be on stage with Alice Cooper. Will it be Nita Strauss, or will it be Orianthi, or will it be both of them? The plot thickens, friends. Speaking of the plot thickening, I never did weigh in on this AC/DC thing. So remember, if you don't know this story, you've been living under a rock, or you're not a rock music fan. But Alice. I got Alice Cooper on the brain. So AC/DC, Brian Johnson left the band on the last tour or they kicked him out or something because he was having hearing problems, which was a likely story. Axl Rose comes on and does a tour with them. There were rumors all over that Axl is going to be recording with AC/DC. Cliff Williams quits the band. He says, if Brian Johnson's not there, I don't want any part of it. It's not for me anymore. Phil Rudd crying the entire last tour that he wanted back in the band. He had legal problems for minor things like threatening to have somebody killed and possession of massive amounts of speed in Australia. So they kicked him out of the band and got Chris Slade. Well, last week or the week before, Brian Johnson and Stevie Young, let me back up a little bit. Last week or 2 weeks ago, Stevie Young, who took Malcolm's place, may he rest in soul, greatest rhythm guitar player of all time, was spotted in a recording studio out in the back stairs smoking with Phil Rudd in Vancouver. So speculation was all over. Phil Rudd back in AC/DC. Well, the next day, not only is Phil Rudd spotted back on the stairwell smoking, but Brian Johnson's back on the stairwell smoking. So speculation running wild. There were people saying, no, this could be from last time they were recording Black Ice. And yesterday or the day before that, Angus Young spotted on the back stairs smoking with Stevie Young. So everybody has been spotted from the original AC/DC except for Cliff Williams. The plot thickens, friends. The soap opera of rock and roll. I love it. I fucking love it. One thing for sure I definitely love is the fact that Axl ain't doing it. You could not pay me to see Axl Rose with AC/DC. No, thank you. I saw him at AT&T Park with Brian Johnson. He left the band like 2 months after that. Great show. But you could not pay me to see Axl Rose with Alice Cooper or with AC/DC. And there was also rumors that Axl was going to be recording with him and also Duff McKagan be playing bass. No, thank you. All right. That's it. Day 13 of the Dog Days of Podcast. A little quick update for you with some rock and roll soap operas. And, yeah, good times. Good times. I love talking rock and roll soap operas. I'm no Eddie Trunk. I can't go on for an hour and a half saying the same thing over and over again, but that's why he's a pro and I'm a podcaster, friends. All right. Why don't we close out with an Alice Cooper tune? In honor of me going to see him tomorrow. Cannot wait. Always fun to go to shows with Ralph Miller. I don't talk that much, but for some reason, Ralph Miller and I always have fun when we go to shows. He has taken me to see Cheap Trick twice, I think, at Mountain Winery, and he's always had great seats. Let me take another sip of this fine Tecate. He took me to see Pat Benatar and Peter Frampton. Wait a minute, was it Pat? It was one time he took me to see Peter Frampton. One time he took me to see Pat Benatar. I don't know who was on the bill with Pat Benatar, but those were always great seats. He gave me tickets to Rick Springfield at another winery. He took me to see Styx and REO Speedwagon at Shoreline Amphitheater, and we had front row. So I don't know what's with Ralph, but he's got great contacts with good seats. I don't know if Alice Cooper could be general admission. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I'm looking forward to going. Always have a good time with Ralph Miller. He has a good dry sense of humor like me, and I like the guy. He's a longtime friend of the Rock and Roll Geek Show. So I'm looking forward to that. I will give you a report on the Alice Cooper show in San Jose. Okay, I'll let you know if Orianthi was there. I'll let you know if Nita Strauss was there. I had heard rumors that from somebody who knows some of the guys in Alice Cooper, and the rumors were that those guys don't really like Nita Strauss that much. They think she's kind of cheesy, but that could be just hearsay because all the videos I've seen of them backstage and stuff, they seem like they get along just great. So, and Nita Strauss seems like she's got a good attitude, and she's a shredder. I'm not a fan of of her stage moves. She does a little bit too much rock posing and jogging across the stage, but she's a shredder. I played gigs with her before when they were when she was in the Iron Maiden, female Iron Maiden tribute band. I believe Featherwich played with them in San Francisco a long time ago. All right, enough of my yapping. Thank you for listening, friends, to day 13 of the Dog Days of Podcasting. I'll be back tomorrow with another show. Maybe I'll talk on the way down to the Alice Cooper show. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but we'll see. I got a bunch of show reviews still to play from people. Please keep them coming. Oh, speaking of Alice Cooper, I'm scheduled to interview Dennis Dunaway, the original bass player for the Alice Cooper group, on Saturday. Hopefully that's still going to happen. And I could use some questions. Somebody sent me questions already. Please keep them coming. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, because I haven't even started to prepare for this interview. His book, Snakes, Guillotines, Electric Chairs, fantastic rock biography, a great read. I read it and listened to the audiobook, which he read, by the way. Great book. All right, enough of me talking. Let's play something from Alice Cooper. Here's something from School's Out, one of my favorite Alice Cooper tunes. This is called Alma Mater. Thanks for listening, friends. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find the show, rockandrollgeek.com. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. Go to the Facebook group, Rock and Roll Geek Show Facebook group. You got to answer 2 questions, so I know you're not a Russian hacker. All right. I'm yapping and yapping and yapping. Thanks for the donations, friends. Please keep them coming. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled, the career of Nita Strauss if she leaves town one more time kind of death. All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow, friends.
Down my cheek, searching for the sea. Tomorrow, like the rain, I'll be back home again. I watch the bus as it pulls out of view. Someday, like that bus, I will be leaving too. But you know, it breaks my heart to leave you. Camelback, my high school. And now, alone, crying in my bed, 'cause old friends said goodbye. I guess I'll be leaving too. But you know, it breaks my heart to leave you. Cortez, I miss you. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. You know I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. You know I will. Well, so long, everybody. I hope that I would see you again. Goodbye, everybody. I finally grew up. They finally let me out of school. Hey, remember the time we took that snake and we put it down little Betsy's dress? Now I don't think Miss Axelrod was much impressed. Now I don't think Miss Axelrod was much impressed. Well, I don't think Miss Axelrod was much impressed. Oh, goodbye, everybody. I hope that I would What? Remember the coop, huh? I hope you don't forget me or nothing. Goodbye.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.